All right, what's up, guys? It's GSR here. So I wanted to explain to you guys why I think Mortal Kombat is not a good competitive fighting game. I don't think Mortal Kombat was ever meant to be a competitive fighting game. I just think people took it seriously, and then they wanted it to be competitive, and I think that's what it is. Now I had a conversation with an individual not too long ago, actually, probably like last week or whatever, when I dropped that video about things that we don't need in MK12, and it was an interesting conversation, and I can understand where that individual's mindset was at when they were writing it, because I had talked about Mortal Kombat. Um, 11 or just Mortal Kombat in general just not being a good competitive fighting game. And the individual had brought up Street Fighter 4 being broken and, Marvel versus Capcom 2 and 3. And I can understand why someone would bring that up. However, Mortal Kombat is very notorious for not being a good competitive fighting game. Now, here's the thing, right? Even if their game is not good competitively, they still will captivate an audience because of how broken the game is or how crazy fast paced the game is, how crazy the combos are in the game, and how captivated the game can be because of how creative the variation system is. Um, which I think MKX, they really displayed how creative they can get with the variation system if they have enough time to do so. However, when it comes to Mortal Kombat 11, I don't think they showed how creative they can get with that variation system, but that's besides the point, because even in Deadly Alliance they had a variation system where you could switch between this stance, that stance, a weapon stance and stuff like that, but you get the idea, right? So the point that I'm trying to make is that Mortal Kombat is riddled with a bunch of bullshit. I'm talking about a bunch of bullshit. Now, of course, people will be like, well, these games are going to go down in history as being one of the best fighting games and stuff like that. But what makes it the best fighting game? Are you talking about casually or are you talking about competitively? There's a huge difference. Now, if you're talking about the combos and how entertaining the game is and stuff like that and how crazy the game can be, then you're talking about it from a casual standpoint. But if you're talking about a balanced competitive side, where skill is required. Now, I'm not going to say Mortal Kombat doesn't have some level of skill. There are definitely good things in Mortal Kombat that are better than Street Fighter, such as the combo system. I think they have a better story than Street Fighter. What else is there? I think on the creative side, I think that NRS beats the Street Fighter developers when it comes to comparing both of the games. However, on the competitive side, Street Fighter is superior. Even though Street Fighter 4 has some broken shit in it, and I won't cap, it did have broken shit in it, I'm still not gonna sit here and pretend. You understand what I'm saying? Like Mortal Kombat is just like, oh, this is the greatest, one of the greatest competitive fighting games of all time, because that's cap. I mean, we can go from MK9 to MKX. I mean, characters. There is so much shit that I can say about those two games, especially MKX. It's not even fucking funny. And people think that I hate NRS and their fighting games. That's not true. I'm talking about it from a competitive side. Okay, not a casual side, because I told you guys there's a huge difference. When I made that other video about things we don't need in MK12, I told you guys specifically, okay, that the casual side of me is feeling really optimistic because that little boy in me, because we all grew up playing Mortal Kombat. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not like I'm gonna hate Mortal Kombat because Mortal Kombat is my favorite fighting game. However, competitively, I don't take it seriously because it's just like, it's like, dude, it's like, what is this? You know what I'm saying? And that's just where I'm at with it. Okay. That's why I say shit about Mortal Kombat, and that's the reason why I don't like it when these like announcers or commentators or whatever overhype the game, because I'm just like, are you not watching? Are you not seeing the stupid shit that I'm seeing? You understand what I'm saying? And people will not acknowledge it. I have a few homegirls that I could literally put in a party, and they could tell you the reason why Mortal Kombat is just like shit, and they play it competitively, like completely competitively. You understand what I'm saying? And like I said, I'm not knocking down anyone who has succeeded in a high level tournament or whatever the case may be. Much success to you, congratulations, or whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, you're not going to sit here and tell me like, oh, you know Mortal Kombat is a great competitive fighting game. Maybe when they had Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, maybe, or Deadly Alliance, like the 3D era type games where where it had a lot of potential. And here's the thing, right? The individual said that, oh, well, well, if you want a balanced game or whatever, or like a competitive balanced game, then you have MK. MK11 and Injustice 2. So you kind of proved my point when you brought that point up. Now this could be a reach. I ain't gonna cap. But what I mean by you brought my point up basically is the simple fact that like you're basically admitting, at least in my mind, you're admitting to me that Mortal Kombat X and 9 and shit like that, they're not good competitively. They're not good competitive fighting games. So in a sense, it's like you're aware that this is the case, right? Now the individual said like, this is going to go down in history or whatever and blah 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 blah. And that, to me that's kind of unfortunate. Because why would it go down in history for being a quote unquote good competitive fighting game? I don't think Mortal Kombat is a good competitive fighting game. I really don't think that. Once you have the experience, if you've labbed as long as I have, you'll see very clearly. Like, I understand where he's coming from, but what about the hype? That's all the game sells on the competitive side, because you have these high level players, they beefing with each other for some odd fucking reason, and you got these crazy comebacks and all this shit and all this broken shit, and that's what captivates an audience on the competitive side. I don't even think it's about the fact that like, oh, this game is good competitively. Just look at Dragon Ball Z Fighters. That's another game that I think is kind of broken and just fucking ridiculous, right? That's the reason why I didn't get into it. Like, you'll see me do combos and shit like that, right? Because it's on my YouTube channel. You'll see me do combos, and I like the animation. I like the graphics. I like the combos. I like how chaotic the game is. But in terms of balance and, like, it being a true competitive fighting game where... And here's the thing. I'm not going to sit here and say, okay, like every fighting game is going to be balanced and it's going to be this and that or whatever the case may be. But as long as the developers try to make the game balanced out, I can kind of see it being a competitive fighting game. But for the most part, like, no. Fuck no. Just like Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and 3 and Street Fighter 4 and Dragon Ball Z Fighters, like those games have OP or broken shit in it and it's just dumb as fuck. You know what I'm saying? And I can't take those games seriously on a competitive level. Like, I'm not going to sit in a tournament and be like, yeah, he deserved that win. Yeah, I deserve that win. Because it don't feel like I won. I put you through that bullshit just like you put me through that bullshit. You understand what I'm saying? Now, people can be like, well, you're never happy about this game. You're never happy about that game. Like I said, I've told you guys before in the live, what makes MKX better than MK11 competitively? And the only thing people can actually tell me is, oh, combos. Oh, better story. Oh, this. And I'm just like, that's it? That's it? And it's not to bash you guys or nothing like that, because it's not what I'm doing. I'm just being brutally honest. That's it. And you got to ask yourself, what makes a good competitive fighting game? Not just crazy shit and hype. I can see why MKX appeals to a lot of people because the variation system is very creative. The combo system is really great. Characters feel a lot more alive in that game. The game's not boring. It's fast paced. It's chaotic. There's some broken shit in the game that can captivate an audience, and you could do some crazy shit in that game. You know what I'm saying? But in a real competitive world, I'm not gonna create a tournament and then be like, hey, put Mortal Kombat as one of the games that can be in my tournament. No, fuck no. I'm not gonna do that. Cause it's not real. That's why I don't take it seriously. That's why I don't care when people are getting all sweaty and shit. And that's why I make memes out of my videos and joke about it. Cause it's cringy to me. Are you not playing the same game that I'm playing? But like I said what I said. And, just let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. Like I said, I don't hate NRS's fighting games. Don't get it twisted. It's just on a competitive side, I can't see myself taking it seriously. You'll see me do combos and shit like that, but I cannot see myself taking it seriously. Just like my homeboy said, Street Fighter and Tekken's better than Mortal Kombat competitively. And the nigga is not even a Street Fighter fan. So, y'all let me know what y'all think.
Both know it won't take long for Gotham's criminals to realize the Batman is gone. And you can't count on the GCPD. Haven't trusted us since Jim died.
You are clear to engage.
Belfry as the base of operations. Some of the technology is outdated, but it has the gear you need and all of my files.
Many of you knew Bruce from Gotham's celebrity pages. A handsome, charming billionaire. And he was that. But he was more than a headline. He was my nephew. He was a friend, a mentor, and a benefactor to those of us gathered here today. And to those of you who didn't know him as we did, I want to tell you this. Bruce was Gotham. He loved this city more than he loved anything. He was a protector to this city. He worked tirelessly behind the scenes to bring justice and equality. There's nothing he wouldn't do. No project he wouldn't champion if he thought Gotham would benefit. And I think in remembering that, we remember Bruce as he truly was.
You've always had my back when I needed you. I know you'll keep Gotham safe. Good luck. And goodbye.
How's Alfred?
What you'd expect. Took him 3 years to agree to a vacation, and Bruce turned up dead. He asked for some time.
He knows none of us were there either, right?
What about you? You let Jacob Kane give the eulogy.
He offered. He thought it'd be easier on us if he was the one to do it. He's Bruce's uncle.
Hell of a speech. All that talk about a protector who works behind the scenes. If he only knew.
Catherine wouldn't be there if she suspected. I can't see the anti-vigilante police commissioner presiding at Batman's funeral.
Here's something else she doesn't know. She has the body of Batman's killer in her morgue. Ra's al Ghul is listed as a John Doe, slated for cremation.
And what if the League of Shadows finds him? If they drop their dear leader in a Lazarus pit, he won't be so dead anymore.
You want to break into the GCPD headquarters for a what-if? Be my guest.
I decrypted the case Batman sent with his message. We should focus on that.
I looked it over, but did I get everything? It doesn't look complete.
I think Ra's interrupted him while he was writing.
He says this has implications that could shake Gotham to its core.
Ominous, but not exactly helpful. I saw a few places we should poke around. Construction sites, a quarry.
He also mentioned a Dr. Langstrom. Anyone know him?
He's a zoologist at Gotham University. Not sure what his connection is, though.
Let's divide up the work. We can meet at the Belfry when we're done. Get it up and running.
Who gets to talk to Langstrom?
I'm at Gotham U. So this professor was Batman's last case?
Kirk Langstrom. Batman attached a half-finished file to his code black. Langstrom must have been mixed up in something bad.
Hopefully that means a fight. Could stand to let out some aggression right now.